What's up, guys? Back here with another beer review in the brew room, and today is a little bit different. I say special a lot, but as you can see, we have two glasses out, and that's because today we're going to be doing a dual review. So without further ado, let me go ahead and grab the beers we're going to review. I had to dig these guys out of the back of the fridge behind the keg because I almost borderline forgot about these beers. I intended on doing a head-to-head review, and I had surgery, and I kind of packed these into the back of the fridge. So these are both essentially the exact same beer. These are both coffee oatmeal stouts that are brewed in the Denver area. I guess, I say Denver. One is brewed in Aurora, and one is brewed in Lafayette, but if you live in Denver, it's within probably about 45 minutes. So, I have had one, and I have not had the other. In fact, I liked this, it's called Milieu Magic Oatmeal, or Coffee Oatmeal Stout by Milieu in Aurora. I liked this so much that I decided that it would be fun to do a head-to-head with Oodles of Oats, which is an oatmeal coffee stout by Westbound and Down. And so, this is going to be a really fun review. Like I said, they're nearly identical beers. Even ABV-wise, this is 6.6 and this is 6.2. So I'm going to go ahead and pour them both, smell them both, taste them both. This one is, the Milieu cans are always actually like super full. I'm a huge coffee guy, and the Milieu has been a really big favorite of mine. Everything I've had this year, I'd probably put it second to the Squirrel's Coffee Brown, or really I'll put it second to just about like any coffee beer that River North in Denver does. And I say that just because River North in Denver does phenomenal coffee beer. Side by side, they look identical. The heads look nearly identical. You have a slightly fluffier head on the Milieu, which is slightly lighter. You have a head that is dissipating a little bit quicker, that is slightly more brown on the Westbound and Down. Let's give it a smell. Yeah, typical. Oh, it smells like it smells like cold brew coffee. Like, it smells like you're expecting to get coffee. The head on this one is actually even almost completely dissipating. Ooh. This smells like a slightly bolder roasted coffee, and I think I'm gonna like that a lot. Keep in mind, again, so these are all oatmeal stouts. These stouts are gonna have that creamier mouthfeel that you would expect. So let me get right into some taste notes and really see which one I like better. I'm almost surprised that it's not a milk stout rather than an oatmeal stout, because it drinks to me a lot like a milk stout, and I'm surprised there's actually not even lactose in this, because of how creamy it is. And I pointed out the oats earlier. This tastes like you're drinking some type of a carbonated cold brew, and it has the body of a beer, and it tastes like a beer, but the coffee is just so strong and so well done that it really hides, I think, the fact that it is a beer. Let's go ahead and let's try the Westbound and Down, because I have not had this beer yet. Right off of the bat, this has less body, and I'm not surprised because, as you can see, this has no lacing, no head retention, and this beer does have some lacing and head retention. A little bit more residual sugar, I think, maybe came out of this beer. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit on the drier side. Even though the coffee is there behind this beer, it is just not as overwhelming of a coffee note, and I like that. I'm a really big fan of the overwhelming coffee notes. If I really had to give the biggest difference between the two. It's that this has a thinner body and a lighter coffee profile. Regardless of the nose, it smells like it's going to have a more roasty coffee profile, but I wonder if they just have used a little bit less coffee beans. On these beers, I know that Milieu is doing something very similar to what River North is doing, and they're steeping the beer on the whole beans, acting like kind of what you would do with like a cold brew, and it's really imparting those flavors into it. I mean, you can see the head is still retaining itself really nicely on this one. And one more for science. Well, this was a fun experiment, and if I had to pick out of the two, I'm still gonna go with my Milieu Magic as my top. Again, this was my second or third favorite coffee beer I've had so far in 2025. This beer is so good if you want something that's coffee forward and dark, that I really think this is kind of hard to top. The Westbound and Down, if this Milieu Magic wasn't around, this would be up there for sure. It just doesn't have that punch you in the face amount of coffee that I am kind of looking for out of my beers. Like when I brewed my coffee amber, I put way more coffee beans than anybody said I should have, because I wanted it to be somewhat overwhelming flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off our review with a Forbidden Cuvée, and this isn't really anything you should be surprised about. Two coffee beers, one a little bit more coffee forward than the other, and to blend them together is a natural thing to do. So let's give our coffee cuvee a taste, and let's see how this is. It's like definitely a blend of the two of them. The nose on the Milieu is more of like a lighter roast coffee. Again, just like more of it. And this is a slightly darker roast coffee. It smells like you walk into like a coffee shop and you just get that fragrance of roasted coffee beans. It's a really, really pleasant smell. Yeah, the mix of the two may actually be better than the two individual. It has a beautiful aroma, and the flavor is kind of the best of both worlds. As I said, the Milieu is better, I think, in kind of every aspect of what this beer should be, but the two together is a really, really great blend, and the slightly higher ABV that you get out of this, I think it kind of cuts through just enough. Wow. Well, as I said, these are both great beers. I'm very, very partial to coffee stouts, especially something that's a little bit on the easier to drink side that you can drink without, having 10, 12%, which a lot of these kind of end up being. They end up being imperial stouts. And so highly recommend both of these breweries. Milieu is putting out some phenomenal stuff. Does not matter what style of beer it is. And Westbound and Down has been doing that for a very, very long time. Milieu's only been open for like a year and a half now, or 2 years, maybe, closing on. So yeah, I would definitely recommend if you are in or around the Denver area, or really Colorado as a whole. I'm in Colorado Springs, and I'm still able to get these beers, and I highly recommend that you try them if you are a dark beer or a coffee beer fan like I am. The Milieu, I believe I gave this either a 9 or 9.5 on tap, and because I've not had the Westbound and Down, I'm going to give it my go-to when I like a beer, but I don't love a beer, and it's going to be an 8 out of 10, a 4 out of 5 on Untappd. And so, yeah, I will see you guys on the next Brew Room beer review.